Welcome here.
No, my sword! Witness the power!
Illusion shattered! Torn to oblivion!
I'm getting sick!
Now he's testing my patience. Rise!
There is no escape!
Temple of Wisdom!
We'll
Hey!
meet again.
Not good!
Shine down!
Regret. Welcome here.
I'll protect us. Come on, we can do it.
Rain cutter! Rain outlines your
Now you shall perish!
Testing my patience.
I'm getting sick of this.
There is no escape!
Make yourself a move. This may hurt a little.
Arise!
Go!
Regret. We'll meet again. Welcome here.
This may hurt a little.
Witness the power of Kuwa! No, my sword! Right? Not good!
Let the show begin. Ready, steady, go!
Inazuma shines eternal!
I'm getting
Share my knowledge. This may
My patience.
not good!
Shine down!
We'll meet.
Go! Yeah!
Regret.
There is no escape!
Let me weave you a verse. Huh? Rain out.
La 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 la. I'll protect us.
Torn to oblivion!
Regret
Committed to memory.
will meet again. You are not
Make yourselves at home.
here.
Everyone focus. Help!
Rain cutter. No.
Illusion shattered! Inazuma shines eternal!
I'm done with this game.
Sharing my knowledge. Committed to memory. Grow.
No, my soul. Body and
This way through.
Will meet again.
Ad Astra.
Come here.
Grow, grow, grow.
Witness the power of Gua.
There is no escape. Torn to oblivion.
Now you're testing my
Face
patience.
remover. Make yourself at home. Ready, steady, go.
Shine down.
Committed to memory. Nitro. I see everything.
Come here.
Rain cutter. Rain outlines your fate. Huh?
Let's dance.
Now you shall perish. Erase all threats.
Now you're testing my patience.
There is no escape.
Grow, grow, grow.
Come here.
The Temple of Wisdom.
Let me weave you a verse. Rain outlines your fate. Know my sword.
Come on, we can do it. I'll protect us.
Inazuma shines eternal.
This way, sharing my knowledge.
Rain cutter. Rain outlines your fate.
Help! Committed to memory.
Will meet again.
I see everything.
Here.
Ready, steady, go! Let the show begin.
Now you shall perish!
Now you're testing my patience.
Shine down!
The Temple of Wisdom! Hey!
Witness the power of Gua. Rain outlines your fate.
Illusion shattered!
This may hurt a little.
How regretful.
Finding someone to chat to would be better than this. Come on, Dad.
Don't you remember your adventure plans, my lady?
I want to buy more.
It's called being a freelancer. Most folks just don't get it.
Ad Astra Avisask.
Hi, Catherine. Do you have any
Commissions, huh? Oh, how about this? Please attend the Academia's Academic Symposium this afternoon and
wait.
And if possible, please also use your camera to capture the reaction of the audience above.
Huh? What kind of commission is that?
I see. In that case, please go to Port Ormos and convince the Eremites there to spend some time volunteering at the local orphanage.
Hey, that's not any better.
Mm-hmm. I'm sure the mercenaries will have some interesting
Paimon's gotta ask.
Oh, the commissioner? Well, actually, I just...
Was it so obvious? I was hoping you would actually take one of those commissions. That kind of chance... Ah, so it's Nahida. Paimon just knew Catherine wouldn't crack those kind... From when she's... So it's been you this whole time? Are you done resting? Yes. I've been sleeping ever since we parted ways. And I even had a really, really long dream. It was another dream about the Sub-Zerus festival. Except it was... In my dream, I was sitting in the middle of a flower terrace. And everyone in Sumeru City was holding hands as they danced, since I also got to sit on a gigantic flower carriage. Varus, the Knight of Flowers, raised me really, really high above the ground. You know, Nahida, maybe your dream is how the Sub-Zerus festival really should be. It's meant to be a joyous time where everyone gets together to celebrate you. Huh? Wasn't I describing a really happy dream? Why are you both looking at me? No! We aren't pitying you. That would only make everything worse. We just don't want you to feel too sad. By the way, have you had a chance to visit Dunyarzad? How's she doing? The Homianis haven't allowed any visitors after the festival, so we haven't been able to... Yes, I paid her a visit right after I woke up. Her condition is stabilized. However, since Elazar is a manifestation of the withering on the human body, We can only cure it by finding a way to take care of Irma, but for the moment, our top focus should still be figuring out what the sages are up to and what they're planning.
Right. Who knows what'll happen if they manage to pull off another scheme like the Samsara of the Sub-Zero's festival.
So our first priority should be investigating and putting a stop to the sages' activities. As for how we should pull that off...
Oh, good point. Sorry, adventurers. We're gonna be borrowing Catherine for a little while.
Let's continue our chat.
Okay, so do you have any ideas on how...
Actually, I've already done a little bit of work on that, but... I've already tried that, but all the key members of the Academia, even the core 30 guards, intentionally, it seems that from the very beginning, they've been guarding against info leaks from the Akasha. Of course, it could also be because...
Have you already caught the sage's attention?
I'm guessing not yet, but distrusting me would make perfect sense if they've ever paid attention. In any case, I probably can... No way, that's too risky.
You mean it'd be too easy to get caught?
No, it's not that. We shouldn't involve innocent students in this. Doing that would be ignoring the safety of my people for my own selfish goals. How is that any different from a...
That's a good point. Spoken like the god of Sumeru.
We're in the dark as of now. Since we still don't know anything about their goals, any rash move could tip them off and lead to terrible consequences. After all, every person in Sumeru said...
Are we really out of ideas? Nahida, you're super smart, so you already have something in mind, right? Don't keep us in suspense. Spill the beans already.
According to a popular theory from the Vahumana Darshan of the Academia, rejecting impractical motions at the beginning of a planning session will give more weight to the actual proposal.
Okay, but aren't you the god of wisdom? You don't have to use that kind of gimmick to make us take your ideas serious.
Well, I've been thinking that if I can't directly possess the leaders, then I should find someone who's already involved, but hasn't decided to side with the sages.
You're saying we should recruit a spy? Oh, before coming back, we met someone named Al-Haytham. He seems like he acts alone, and he likes doing stuff behind the Academia's back. They probably aren't in cahoots.
Actually, I already have someone in mind. Do you still...
Setaria. Paimon remembers now. Isn't she the one who's... Oh, we ran into her basically every time the Sub-Zero's festival repeated itself. You could even say Paimon still remembers the smug and mean way she always spoke to Nilu.
I've always liked observing all kinds of people. And Setaria, she was born in the desert and was hailed as their greatest genius. Her academic gifts allowed her special admission into the Academia, and also...
Oh, Paimon didn't know she was from the desert. She must be pretty special then. Paimon feels like most of the desert dwellers around this...
The name Setaria means star. When she lived in the desert, she shone like the bright... Later on, she was chosen by the sun. The star was given a place in the... Soon after, the star witnessed the sun scorching the earth, which brought forth... The star began to waver. Instead of staying beside such a sun, wouldn't it be better to return and light up part of the night sky? But in the end, she couldn't give up the radiance of daytime. To cope with her shame, the star buried her guilt and closed her eyes.
From the sound of it, Setaria's just hung up on the research opportunities here. But she doesn't really support the Academia. She still feels guilty about not doing more for the desert, right? She's just running away from her problems.
Indeed. When they are presented with complex moral issues, many people will simply plug their ears. She's suppressing a lot of guilt. But before she realized it, she had already become the sage's accomplice. She can't deny right. We must somehow make her face her problems again. That way, not only can we get useful intel from her, but she can also use it as an opportunity. From my past observations, Setaria will take a day off from the academia every 10 days to do some Tomorrow afternoon just happens to be a shopping day for her. That will be our chance to prepare. Let's go check out some of her favorite spots, and have a quick chat with a few of the This should be Setaria's favorite fortune-telling spot.
So should we ask the...
No, I already have enough information on Setaria. The most important thing now is for you to pay attention to the vendor's talking
style and...
My poor lost lambs. Have you become troubled over the divine voice of wisdom, often echoes between mine ears? If thou be blessed today by the...
Huh? Really? Nahida, you've been whispering things to her?
Shh! My friend here has some doubts regarding her future.
It would seem that Harut and Marut are quite wary of you. Perhaps at some...
Only mocking the god of Animo, questioning the lord of Geo's financial savviness, and brawling with the god of Electro.
Oh, nothing. Go on, pick an aspect for her to divine.
Health prospect. Oh, the gods have spoken. The truth shall be revealed. Your life shall continue on for... many... Harut, Marut, did you two spoil my divination?
Actually, Paimon thinks this is probably the most
I admit that the orientation of today's celestial...
Is that so?
If you were to bring some food offerings for Harut and Marut on your next visit, perhaps they could help you reverse the wheels of fate.
Is this another one of Setaria's favorite stalls?
Yep, it belongs to a king. His father helped Setaria a lot when she first moved to Samari City, so she still comes by whenever she has time. When I start talking with him, listen carefully to the details of our conversation.
Ah, dear customers! Would you like to look at some pottery?
We caught wind of your great craftsmanship, so we specifically came to take a look.
Oh, I recognize you. Aren't you Miss Catherine from the Adventurers Guild? Sounds like I'm in for some big business.
Speaking of, where did you learn this trade?
I suppose you could say it all started with my dad. He's a mason by trade, but I picked up an interest in clay while apprenticing for him. After that, I began making pottery by myself in secret, and I simply changed trades when my works turned out well. Although it's a pity that I'm no longer making much use of the knowledge provided to me by the Akasha.
That's nice. You're making a living doing something you love.
So is your father still working?
Oh no, not anymore. A few years back, he fell from a roof and broke his leg. Since he had already saved enough Mora over all these years, he's just enjoying the retired life in Port Ormos nowadays.
I see. We wish him peace and happiness in his retirement. I'll have someone in charge of logistics at the guild come by another day for some goods. We'll leave you to it. Take care now.
No problem. Rest easy, all our goods are sure to meet your every need.
This should be our final stop. Setaria is always thinking of this restaurant when she's working at the academia, so she always comes by whenever she's out in the city.
Nahida, you've really thought of everything.
It's my duty to protect Samari's citizens, after all.
Hi there. I feel like I've seen you down by the docks before.
Huh? Sorry, I don't quite remember.
If I recall, you were having a discussion with someone about shipbuilding at the time.
Ah, that's right! I've always been really interested in feats of marine engineering. After all, I grew up in Liyue Harbor and spent my entire childhood staring at the ships going in and out of the port. I came to Sumeru to study, but I'm still discussing all kinds of problems with different scholars. And I'm continuing to study and perform research from the restaurant's basement. I'm sure I'll get into the
What an admirable spirit for learning. Amazing!
Sure.
So this restaurant has a basement as well? Huh.
That's right. It's not usually open to patrons. Most of the time, employees use it for breaks or...
I see. Guess that makes sense. Well, good luck with your studies, Miss Chisha.
Thank you so much. As long as I can make it into the
So, was that everything?
3 familiar faces should be enough for Sataria.
What's the point of all the information we've collected? Nahida, you still haven't...
Sataria is already used to avoiding her problems, so we must find a way to break through. I remember you mentioned that the Eremites in Port Ormuz are all making a fuss about the upcoming resurrection of King Deshra. Although it's all just a boatload of nonsense, the fate of her homeland may turn out to be Sataria's soft spot.
Oh, Paimon gets it now. You want to take advantage of the guilt, Satar. Although she knows she should return home to help the people of the desert, all she's done is conspire with the sages. So,
Well, King Deshret is long gone, and Sataria is also too smart to fall for any simple tricks. If we simply engaged her under the guise of King Deshret's believers, she would but if we were to borrow some of her close acquaintances to talk...
So, you mean you're going to possess those people we just...
Yep. Possess them through the Akasha. Imply they've already converted to the faith of King Deshret, and then convey our made-up will of King Deshret. As long as everything goes smoothly, we'll get through to Sataria for sure. She'll never get...
So that's how you're going to use all the info we collected on these people. It's so that you won't slip up and break form. Possessing them will only work if you can manage to pass off as them.
Exactly. So, best of luck with
Best of luck?
That's no problem at all. I'll just share all their senses with you once I've possessed them. As long as you're also wearing an Akasha terminal, the effect will basically be as if you've possessed...
That is pretty convenient. But why does she have to do this? Can't you do it yourself?
Although I've been observing humans for a while, I've never been good at imitating them.
You're not wrong. It's always been painfully obvious whenever you try to pass as cat.
If it was at all possible, I would have preferred to leave these people alone. But
Yeah, don't beat yourself up over it. We're only doing this to help everyone, and we'll only be...
alright, then let's give it a go tomorrow. I'm not sure what to do next. How about I take you on a walk?
Oh, here she comes. Satari is here.
Let's quietly follow her. Once she starts talking to her acquaintances, we'll find this. As for how we'll sway her to our side, I'll leave that to you. I trust you'll know what to say.
Paimon's starting to feel Looks like they've already started talking. Let's find a hiding spot and get started.
That's right. You really can't force anything when it comes to love. And besides, everyone around me has a very different background and... are you still listening to me, Nabia?
Oh, of course I'm listening. You were talking about troubles with your love life.
Okay then. You just... Strange. Your cats seem pretty worked up. I always thought they were quiet, happy kitties. Oh, what are their names again? Ah, that's right. They are just little darlings, aren't they?
So, which fortune do you want me to read for you today?
I'd like to get another reading on my love prospects, but to be perfectly honest with you, I feel like I've been a real
A mess?
Well, could you do a reading on how long it'll take me to finish my current project at work?
I hear you. No problem at all.
Sorry, your new laugh is just so hilarious. I couldn't help it.
Oh, please pick. The gods are asking. Sitaria, why haven't you gone home?
Why haven't I gone home? To the gods?
Sitaria, why don't you just go home? It's a demand now instead of a question. The god...
I'm sorry. I know I failed the gods. Please pass on my most sincere... And, if I may ask, Nabia, is there a specific god who's speaking to...
What an inconsiderate and naive question. The god who is speaking to me is, of course...
King Deshret? No wonder he would make such demand of me. Wait a second. King Deshret passed away a long time ago. Even though news of King Deshret's resurrection has been spreading like wildfire, it's all just a misinformation campaign from the academia. How can King Deshret still exist in real life?
What insolence! I am King Deshret's most loyal believer. Do you wish to refute his voice?
Oh, no. As a child of the desert, I am only reveling in his power upon learning that his divine glory... I will think very carefully about his demand of me. I'm sorry. I must go now.
Wait!
Oh, she just ran off in a hurry.
Well done. Sitaria didn't seem to suspect anything amiss. To have something she's been trying desperately to avoid show up out of nowhere and berate her, that must have shaken her to the core.
Aw, Nahida, it seems like you understand.
All I know are some abstract Harabata theories. And in any case, my time with you has shown a lot of them to be utterly useless. I'm still trying to make sense of it. Anyway, enough of that. Let's hurry and catch up to...
He's out of games now, right on cue. Let's get ready to possess him right away.
It's okay. I just got caught up in something. Oh, actually, didn't you ask me to help you look for work? What kind of work were you looking for again? Oh, right. Your old man's... Speaking of, how's he doing? Is he feeling any better? Oh, that's good to hear. I have been thinking a lot about him. Actually, while we're talking about him...
Yeah, he's been retired there for a while.
If you could find the time, please write him a letter. Let him know that recently, faith in King Deshret has taken root in Port Ormos, and has begun to... He has a quick temper, and has always been a devout follower of the Dendro Archon. I don't want him to get into a fight with those King Deshret believers because of a different...
Oh? So, who are you siding with in all of this? The Academia or King... I'm so jealous of you. You were born a child of the desert, yet you chose to betray King Deshret, and now you spend all...
Akeem, you don't mean... You've also become a...
What's so strange about becoming a believer of the wise King Deshret? In fact, aren't you the strange one? The one who still can't...
Can't pick a side? Me?
Whoa! Paimon had no idea you'd be so good at this!
You really zeroed in on the issue and put it right in front of her. It might feel a bit overwhelming for Sataria, but once everything is over, I'll be sure to pay her a visit to her mind and explain everything.
Come on! Sataria's already started talking...
So, Shishan, have you noticed anything, like, as if someone was trying to preach to you about something?
Oh, right. Speaking of, I celebrated the Sub-Zerus festival so many times that I lost count. That was really weird.
Wait, how could you be aware of that? That should be impossible.
Are you still failing to realize that the Academia's lowly tricks could never deceive all of Sumeru's citizens?
Shishan, don't tell me that you've converted to King Deshret.
What an absurd question. You make it sound like I should be ashamed for becoming a believer of King. In reality, shouldn't you be the one who is ashamed? You, who work side by side.
Please, please stop!
Even now, Sataria's still trying to run from her problems.
She can no longer justify everything to herself.
Hey, she's trying to talk to the guards!
This is the most important part of all. Quick, get ready.
Mercenary, you're a member of the Corps of 30, correct? Please help me pass a message to the Matra right away. The situation in the city is getting out.
Please, try to remain calm, miss.
Heretics are infiltrating the city, and they've already converted many residents to their side.
Heretics? What kind of heresy are you talking about?
King Deshret! Many people I know have suddenly started believing in him, but he's long dead. It's impossible.
Miss Sataria, nothing...
You know my name.
King Deshret is immortal, and all who defy him will one day pay the price. You must face the truth, Sataria. You tread a treacherous path, and the longer you ignore it, the tighter the Academia's grasp on you will become, and the deeper you will be ensnared. Child of King Deshret, never forget that the desert that belongs to you lies elsewhere.
What's so strange about becoming a believer of the wise King Deshret? In fact, aren't you the strange one? The one who still can't pick a side?
What an absurd question. You make it sound like I should be ashamed for becoming a believer of King Deshret.
Sataria, why haven't you gone home?
It seems that no matter where I run, I only keep finding more believers of King Deshret. I've also been running from my guilt this whole time. Guilt over my part in the Sage's plans, and from ignoring them. But no matter how much I may try to ignore or get rid of it, my guilt always comes back.
You won't necessarily lose your research opportunities by facing the truth. Besides, Did you really want to conduct your research while carrying such heavy feelings of guilt?
How do you know me so well? Are you truly just a believer of King Deshret? Or are you the—
That's not important. The important thing is to pass judgment on the academia and its sages, and if you could provide some assistance in this matter.
I've actually never believed in the gods, but I've always believed in serendipity. Your appearance must be a fated opportunity for me to get out of this wretched situation. Please tell me, what can I do for you?
How much do you know?
I was just one of the designers for the masked dream harvest scheme, which is what happened around the Sub-Zeru's festival. But I know very little about the full scope of the overall project. I'd assume that only staff with the highest clearance would have access to those confident. I've just been working to meet the Grand Sage's specified. However, there's something that's been really bothering me. I heard that a scholar who was previously expelled has returned to the city, and even the sages are still quite wary of him.
To fight against the academia, we will need to figure out the nature and the purpose of their work. Is there a way for us to get access to the confidential documents you mentioned?
It should be possible if we're willing to take some risks. After all, I'm an assistant to the Grand Sage, and I've been working on many tasks outside of the project. One thing, though, I won't be able to transfer the documents to you through the Akasha once I get my hands on them. The sages have always closely monitored all activities within the Akasha. Let me see. Let's use the most primitive method. Send someone to pick up
the academia entrance. Wouldn't that be too conspicuous?
Don't worry about that. I assure you, this won't be a trap. I'm only suggesting this location because it'll draw more scrutiny for me to leave the academia again. It'll be safest for me to distract the guards long enough to hand you the documents.
All right, I trust.
So, if I were to successfully
that'll depend on the judgment of the Dendro Archon.
The Dendro Archon. That's right. Her people are the ones we have endangered. As the god of wisdom, she's also the one responsible for Maybe it's time for me to find a god to believe in.
Just as Nahida predicted, we've managed to bring Sataria to our...
The Traveler's execution was ingenious. She's the one who deserves all the praise. Well, now that we've made plans to meet again tomorrow evening, all we can do is pray for Sataria's mission to go up.
Pray? But if we're going to pray to the gods, aren't we just praying to you? God of wisdom and guardian of the scholars?
No. The truth is the true guardian of scholars. I've always believed that. Anyway, let's meet again tomorrow evening at the Adventurers Guild. That's right. I suppose I'm the other Catherine in your mind.
Shh! We're on a secret mission tonight, so we need to protect Catherine's identity.
Yep, Paimon's right. We cannot fully rule out the chance that the meetup... If something were to happen, my existence may be the only trump card we'll be able... After all, the academia should still be unable to confirm the existence of my consciousness in the outside world.
Yep. Exactly. Just what Paimon was thinking. Anyway, enough about that. Let's just make sure to be on our guard. Off? What do you feel is off? It's the middle of the night. Of course it's quiet.
No, I think she's right. It really is a lot. If you look around, there seems to be fewer people on the streets. I'm not...
Maybe it's just a coincidence. Maybe Sataria figured out a way to not only distract the guards, but also...
I also can't quite figure out why things feel a little off. But now that we're here, let's go ahead and meet her as we...
Well, regardless, as long as you're here with us... There really aren't many people out right now. Let's hope it'll be this quiet in front of the academia, and that Sataria managed to distract all the guards. This hour of the night.
The triumphant hero returns at last. And to a rather spectacular welcome, even if I do say so myself.
You're the outcast, expelled from the academia.
Indeed I am. Although these days they tend to call me the Doctor. If you're looking for your researcher friend, she has already been taken into confinement. With some basic caution, she could have discovered the listening device on her person. Clearly, she lacks the degree of rigor expected of a true scholar.
The people of Sumeru City! What have you done to them?
I simply made some minor adjustments to their Akasha terminals. Now they can deposit information directly into the subconscious. As you can see, all these lovely people now believe this traveler is a hero who has just saved the world. My experiment is a success. And now it seems they can no longer hold back their sheer adoration.
No, what should we do? These are all just regular people.
Leave now. You need to get out of here.
What? That guy's a Fatui Harbinger! We can't just leave you here!
Nor can I abandon the people of Sumeru! Don't worry. We'll meet again outside of the city.
I see. You appear to have overridden their mental faculties with your own consciousness. To possess such a powerful mind, you must be the god of wisdom.
This should be far enough. Is the Hida going to be okay? We only made it out because of her. Paimon wasn't counting on running into a new Harbinger here, let alone such a high-ranking one. That guy was number 2. So scary. He called himself the Doctor. Remember, Tainari told us about him. Sataria did say that someone, and that even the sages are wary of him. Yep, sounds like she must have been yeah. Now that the Doctor's in the picture, we're no longer just dealing with the academia. They're in cahoots, but what are the Fatui after this time? Another Gnosis? Yeah, things would be a lot easier with Nahida said we'll meet again outside of the city. But we can't just keep waiting around, right? You mean... Oh, right! Wasn't he invited by the sages to work on some project when we were staying with him in the Vidia forest? That has to... Even though he turned it down at the time, he might still know something. There's no time to lose. Let's go to Gandharvaville. Everyone hold hands!
No, my sword!
Commit it to memory! I see the stars! I see everything!
Hold it right there. A blonde-haired traveler and a floating fairy. We've got you all right. Take a look around.
Are you mercenaries from the Corps of 30?
Corps of 30? We're nothing like those government lapdogs who don't even get scraps. We are an elite brigade that commands the highest commission rate in all of Sumeru. We're here on the orders of a client.
The outcast? An outcast from the academia? But why wouldn't the Doctor just send the Fatui after us?
Still wasting time on idle chit-chat. We'll shut you up soon.
You're up, traveler!
No, my sword! That rain outlines your... There is no escape!
New punching bag.
Sharing my knowledge!
I'll be back.
It isn't over yet! Here comes reinforcements! That was pretty rough. Is that what elite mercenaries are like? Yeah. Look, but this doctor guy seems like a pretty tough opponent. He knew exactly where to set up an ambush. Did he predict that we would... going up against smart people is tough. Anyway... I'm not doing too well. As a result, Master Tainari is taking me off the patrol schedule. He will only allow me to stay here and coordinate other people's tasks.
Oh, Kale. Speaking of Tainari, did he go off on patrol?
Oh, Master Tainari? He just left the Avidia Forest a little while ago. He was headed to...
He left? But isn't Tainari always saying that he never wants to leave the Avidia Forest?
I thought it was weird too. Master Tainari always prioritizes his work as a forest watcher above everything. He almost never leaves his post. He left in a... No, I only found out that he left through a message he left behind. He also made sure to delegate all his tasks using a schedule. To leave in such a hurry? I'd guess he had something Master Tainari originally studied in the Amorta Darshan of the Academia, and Pardis Dii is something like the Amorta's research base. Many rare shrubs and grasses have been planted there for research. I know that before he became a forest watcher, Master Tainari once spent a long time conducting research at Pardis Dii.
A research base, huh? Gotta wonder what kind of research Tainari just decided to... Oh, we don't have a lot of time, so let's go look for him at Pardis Dii.
Don't worry. I'm fine. I'm used to living with Elazar by now. If you run into Master Tainari...
Got it. Will do. See you later, Kale. Wait! Look who it is! Thank goodness you're okay. We were so worried about you. Hey! This was supposed to be a touching reunion, but you're ruining the moment! Actually, it's very smart of the Traveler to be wary of me right now. After all, the Doctor has shown that his technology can apparently even plus. It's not like you could have known what happened after we split up, and I was facing the Doctor by myself. Even a pool of stagnant water after a torrential storm can occasionally pass as a patch of...
Paimon feels like only the real Nahida could come up with such an obscure analogy.
Huh? But I wasn't trying to win your trust during... Well, we understand that point now. Please, Nahida, tell us more about what... When you left, I was still in the middle of restoring everyone's minds. Thankfully, when the Doctor mentioned depositing information into the subconscious, he didn't mean engraving it instead. He did something closer to creating hallucinations. That was still within my... Luckily, I managed to finish my restorations and mind jump away from him. What a relief. The Doctor sure pulled out some hidden cards, but... I wouldn't be real... I gave away my true identity when I restored everyone's minds, which means we've lost another one of our trump cards. Also, the Doctor is already an expert at modifying Akasha terminals. Maybe... Would that mean you'd no longer be able to jump between minds? Then how do we stop him? He's still at the Academia, so it's possible he already started messing with the... Ugh. It feels like he's toying with us. What a nasty... Plus, the Doctor's combat ability alone is apparently enough to make him worthy of being number 2 of the Fatui. We shouldn't give up hope just yet. Let's try to find another way. Actually, Nahida, how did you know we were trying to get to Pardis Dii? Yes, I have. I can see the Traveler's elemental energy, so I deduced your destination by... You didn't come here for sightseeing, right? Did you... We're looking for a scholar we know. His name is Tainari, and the sages once tried to reach out to him. Why don't you come inside with us and see what we can find? Okay. Let's just hope we won't get him into...
Traveler?
pleasant surprise.
Who's this? She's a scholar we met in the Avidia Forest. When we last saw each other, she was still training in the... what's it called? Oh, I see.
That's right, we're old friends. You've come at just the right time. Ever since I've come...
Hypatia, you're way too excited about this. Actually, for you to leave the Avidia Forest means... Wait, no. Did you already finish your training and reach Pariporna life?
My consciousness has already managed to make contact...
You did it? Congratulations!
It's so exhilarating to share this sublime when my consciousness made contact with the gods. Ah, what a supreme and unparalleled...
That sounds incredible!
Oh, all right. Actually, please remember? I promised to help you understand what you saw from Irminsul once I gained deeper insights. My current self has not only gained true insight, but I can even help you establish a direct connection to the consciousness of the divine.
You can do that? I've never heard of anything like that, but if you want to give it a try...
Hold on. I brought some Spirit-born ale with me. This is still a crucial part of...
we're...
All right now. Hold my hand. I'll help you establish a pathway to connect your...
Okay.
Ready?
It took 3 betrayals for me to finally understand. The world is just an elaborate tapestry of lies. My fury will never be quelled. The first to betray me was a god. My creator. My mother. Valuing strength above all, she saw no worth in me and I was discarded. The second was a human. My family. My friend. Consumed by fear, he saw me as an abomination. The third was one exactly like me. A hope for the future. A fledgling barely out of the nest. Powerless before his mortality, he broke his promise to me. Humans, they can't be trusted. And the gods fill me with pure loathing. So I said good riddance. I denounce the world and laugh in its face. My chest will never again be defiled by worldly filth. I will scrub away every last trace of human emotion. Then it will be empty, a blank slate, and ready to receive a supreme gnosis, brimming with pure divinity. There is no need to fear. The pain will be brief. Your era is coming to an end.
What was that? Did we actually just see the Balladier's memories? Everything matches what we know about him. But how is he connected to the divine consciousness that Hypatia was talking?
You saw it, right? You felt it, right? Such a majestic god! Alas, shame. If only that which beats within my chest wasn't a filthy mortal heart. Oh, great and merciful...
Do you understand now? I'm afraid this is no Pariporna life, but rather...
You! Why are you so mean to me? Why is everyone hiding? I found divine wisdom. Shouldn't I receive praise and honor? Haven't I uncovered that light in the...
Hypatia?
That's how I always thought everything should be. Wait, have I Already lost my mind?
Wait, something isn't right. Okay, we finally lost him. Are you okay, Nahida? Wait, no.
Oh, the Traveler's back?
Nahida was controlling your body for a while. It seemed like she jumped over to you as an emergency measure right before the Catherine puppet was destroyed. After that, Tainari heard the commotion and came over. He helped us defeat the mercenaries and then he ran with us all the way here. What? You swapped places? You mean your consciousness also went into Nahida? Wait, then where is Nahida's consciousness? Where is she now?
I never imagined that an individual's consciousness could be transferred around like this. Had I not seen it with my own eyes, I would have never believed it. I don't think this... Also, while we were running, the consciousness in your body told me to pass on a message. She said, "The doctor has found a way to trap my consciousness, so I can't journey with you anymore. But even in a moonless night, a shower of starlight can still drown out illusions and lies."
Oh no! Nahida's trapped in the same... Was that message all she left for us? It's pretty vague. Oh, that makes sense! Since the doctor captured her, she won't be able to say anything without him knowing. She's being extra. Even in a moonless night, a shower of starlight can still drown out illusions. Huh. Paimon knows the moon illusions and lies are from that alchemical divination at the Sub-Zero. Didn't Nahida use a starlight analogy before? It had something to do with Sataria. Oh, that makes a lot of sense. Huh. Do you think Nahida was telling us to go find help in the... But she isn't with us anymore.
Paimon, you said Sanctuary of Surasthana. Does this mean that this Nahida you're talking about, the consciousness who is occupying the Traveler's body, is the Dendro Archon?
Your guess is correct, but the situation's a bit complicated.
That's all right. A scholar's curiosity doesn't need to be appeased right away. As for the complicated nature of the situation, I've spent some time with you, and it looks like the Dendro Archon's also on your side, so...
Thank you, Tainari. Oh, actually, we came here to ask you a question. What do you know about the project that...
Ah, that. While I was indeed invited to join that project, the sages were always secretive about its scope and goals. All I know is that that project has something to do with the restoration of Irminsul.
Huh? Did you see something when you were in Nahida's body? What?
Do you have any evidence? So that's what happened. That explains why Hypatia's symptoms were different from those of the other scholars who went mad. It's because she made contact with the consciousness of a new god.
Tighnari, did you leave the Avidia Forest because of Hypatia?
I did. I noticed Hypatia's mental anomalies, but since her symptoms were rather atypical, I secretly took her to Pardes Dii and began searching for... If I didn't take action, Hypatia would have already been taken by the Matra to the desert, doomed to a life of exile at Aru village. Now that you mention it, I knew the Academia has never thought particularly highly of lesser, but I still didn't expect them to do something as arrogant as creating a new god. Looks like I made the right decision by not accepting their invitation. The Doctor and the Balladeer. We have 2 Fatui Harbingers in Sumeru. From your description, I don't think they've completed their project. There may still be room for us to intervene. But then, what is the connection between creating a new god?
Yeah, it feels like we're still nowhere close to figuring out the Sage's goals. Right. We've pretty much gone over everything we need to know, so we should head out. How about you, Tighnari? What are you—
I'll stay here for now. I still want to try a few more things to help Hypatia. If you're planning to go into the desert, start by heading for Caravan Rabat. That'll be your fastest route. Come find me here if there's anything else I can do to help. May the spirit of...
Thanks, Tighnari. Hopefully Hypatia will feel better soon. We're off then. We finally made it to Caravan Rabat. It's so just past this wall is the desert, huh? Oh, wow. Paimon remembers hearing people call this the Wall of Samiel. It's made to block sandstorms from the outside. Oh, if it's this tall, it's gotta be the divine work of Greater Lord Rukkhadevata, right?
Enough gawking. Come on, follow me.
Huh?
Over here.
Oh, Haytham went that way! Let's hurry up and follow him. Wonder what he's up to.
What the... Where did she go? How did we lose them? They were just here a second ago.
More Eremite mercenaries? Who are they working for this time?
You were too careless. You should have noticed those hopeless amateurs trailing you a long time ago. There's no need to thank me. I've never cared to keep track of personal favors. All I did was correct a mistake I happened to come across. It's a habit I developed at the
You really gave Paimon a scare, Al-Haytham. We never thought we'd run into you here. Last time we met at Port Ormos, didn't you say you were going back to the Academia? Wait, don't tell Paimon that you're here to take—
Oh, so you've already landed yourselves on the Academia's hit list. However, had I wished to turn you over to the Academia, don't you think you'd already be the Eremite's honored—
Oh, right. You do have a point.
I have no interest in running errands for that project. As a scholar, I've always belonged to the camp that promotes researcher autonomy. And these days, you're more fascinating than anything the sages can offer. Not quite. To tell you the truth, I'm still investigating the Divine Knowledge Capsule. Everyone says the capsule originated in the desert and was eventually moved to Port Ormos. If I am to get to the bottom of this, which brings me back to you and why you're so interesting. The leader of Ain al-Ahmar used the Divine Knowledge Capsule right in front of you, and upon seeing him, your expression became perplexed, and you were lost in thought for quite some time. To have that kind of reaction, I think you must have realized something. Are you interested at all in sharing?
Al-Haytham, you really have a ridiculous eye for detail. What kind of person even notices or remembers stuff like that?
So that's your answer. Well, I do work for the Academia after all. But that does prove you do have some undisclosed information about the Divine Knowledge Capsule. Am I right? No matter. Rather than simply learning the answers from you, I'd still prefer to investigate on my own.
That's right! We have the same plan as you! But we don't really—
Then I'd suggest starting with Aru Village. It's the largest settlement in the desert, so it'll probably have more resources and intel than anywhere else. Well, would you like to head there together?
It's always better to travel with someone you know. Let's go!
Before us lies Aru Village, the safe haven of the desert.
Whoa, this landscape is really something else.
Unless my memory fails me, we have barely spoken 2 words to each other before now at the Academia. Would you care to
Haytham, do not think you can escape my
judgment? So that's how you'd characterize your actions here, is—
Had I used my full strength, not even this traveler would have been able to stop me. Though styled like an assassination, I sought only to ensure that my target would be unable to flee or resist. Standard practice for the Matra, as well you know.
Seemed to me more like your own personal—
Who is that, Al-Haytham?
Yes. General Mahamatra Sino, head of all the Matra at the Academia. He's a former—
You seem to have placed a lot of trust in Al-Haytham, to the point of blocking an attack for him. If I were you, I'd never choose to side with him. I have been pursuing this scribe for a long time. I urge you, stand back and do not seek to defend him any longer.
Has Al-Haytham done something wrong? Hyman doesn't think he's—
I won't waste my breath explaining things. Al-Haytham, take it out. The Divine Knowledge Capsule you're hiding on your person.
Very perceptive of you. Nothing escapes a Matra.
Wait, the Divine Knowledge Capsule? Didn't it fall into the Matra's hands in Port Ormos?
No wonder you speak with such confidence, Sino. But I must admit, I'm very curious. And why, as General Mahamatra of the Academia, are you all alone in— As far as I'm aware, the other Matra have been speculating about your disappearance. Have you been given a mission that's, let's say, morally dubious. If I was the real target of your mission, what was stopping you from simply using your authority and resources to judge me within the walls of the academia?
I should have known you'd be difficult to deal with.
You two! Ugh! What should we do, Traveler? Paimon feels...
Ahem. Well, look at you two, acting all tough and self-righteous over there.
Wait, Dia? Great! Finally, someone that we can trust! You gotta help us out here. Otherwise, these two are gonna start...
Yeah, sure looks that way. Two giants from the academia duking it out once and for all. Not so... Listen, I know you academic types love to fill up your big brains with self-righteous morality and lord your empty rules and virtues over each other. But how dare you bring your petty disputes into the safe haven of Aru Village? It seems like someone's gonna have to beat some sense into your thick skulls until you finally look... Hey, did either of you hear a word?
Whoa, what's going on? The wind's so strong! Is this a sandstorm?
Another sandstorm? What's up with these recently?
Hey! All of you, over here, quickly!
Someone's calling for us! Oh, this wind is too...
That sounded like Candace. Come on, you two. Jeez, are all of you academia folks such hard work? Move it!
All right, stop yelling.
Well, hey, wanna play sardines with three people who wanna tear each other limb from limb? Sure. The air is so thick and heavy. Paimon can hardly keep floating anymore.
My sincere apologies, everyone. This is the home of our village chief. I will have to ask you to make do with this small room until the sandstorm dies down. Please, let me introduce myself. I am
Our savior has come at last. Nice to meet you, Candace. The name's Paimon. Thank you so much.
There's no need to thank me. It's only right to help each other when the weather gets rough.
Wow, she's so gentle and caring, like a nice older sister. Unlike those guys over there.
All right. Now that we're all better acquainted, we should return to the topic at hand. As a guardian charged with the responsibility to protect my fellow villagers from harm, I was observing your conflict from afar, even before the sandstorm started. And now that you have set foot within our village itself, it is all the more my responsibility to make absolutely sure that you pose no... So please, have an honest and sincere conversation with one another. If anyone dares to start anything again while they are under this roof, I will not hesitate to send them out for some quality time with the creatures of the sandstorm.
Oh, on second thought, Paimon may have misjudged...
And that goes for you too, Miss Dia. Do I make myself clear?
All right, we got...
That's what I like to hear.
I was supposed to be a mediator, but I might have gotten a little too involved just now. Anyway, one of those two should probably start...
Wait, that was you trying to be a...
I have nothing to hide, so there's no shame in explaining myself. While Al-Haytham wasn't wrong about the other Matra not knowing my whereabouts, it's not because I've been assigned a morally dubious mission. Rather, I've chosen...
Huh?
A little while ago, I discovered that there was data missing in the Academia's project planning and development files. What little they did report clearly, as General Mahamatra, I had the responsibility and authority to request an audit. However, to my surprise, the person I tried to investigate the issue myself before submitting a formal audit request. But I soon found that all leads and potential pieces of incriminating evidence were carefully I began to realize that they were cautious of me from the very beginning. Unsurprisingly, the Grand Sage rejected my audit request as soon as the submission reached his desk. The power of the General Mahamatra is granted by the sages. You have no right to...
So they really are up to no good.
I realized then that to the Grand Sage, the Matra are nothing more than tools for the sages to assert and maintain their control over knowledge. The vows that we took, the principles that we strive to uphold, they are meaningless to the academia of today. I believed it would be wise to flee the academia before the sages had a chance to take action against me. This way, they can no longer see nor predict my actions. I will never give up on this investigation. There's no need for someone else to give me power or authority. Once I find the truth...
Sino seems to have the same goal as us. We're all investigating the sages. Plus, now that he's no longer the General Mahamatra, he somehow feels a lot less scary. Well, Sino, if that's your story, then...
When I was investigating the matter in the academia, I overheard a conversation between all hate. The sages asked you to investigate a blonde-haired traveler. Do you...
What?
Like many parts of the project, this assignment was undocumented. Now throw in your suspicious behavior with the Divine Knowledge Capsule, and I think we deserve an explanation.
Yes. I was indeed tasked with investigating the traveler.
I'll hate them!
After all, the promised reward was so great that hardly any scholar could have refused. The sage told me, once you've completed this assignment...
A most enticing offer.
Unfortunately, those academics don't know me at all. Their words contained one key piece of information, namely that divine knowledge indeed exists. That gave me all I... From my perspective, the sages are far from trustworthy. Think about it. Isn't it a little strange they're so willing to share divine... So, I began my own investigation following the lead of the Divine Knowledge Capsule. In the end, I realized my wisdom in committing to this rather than collaborating with the sages. Had I been less guarded, I probably would have ended up like that Ain al-Ahmar mercenary, incapable of remaining sane for long enough to hold a conversation.
You mean that the sages originally planned to dispose of you, using one of those capsules that drive people insane?
I'd already given up on the assignment by then. I only told the academia I was waiting in Port Ormos for you to appear so they wouldn't suspect anything. So it came as quite a surprise when I encountered my erstwhile target while investigating the divine knowledge.
Criminals do love to talk about coincidences.
Even though I ran into the traveler by chance, I had no intention of providing assistance to the academia. You were the ones who decided to follow me and strike up a conversation after I left that tavern.
That's true. Al-Haytham helped us out at Caravan Rebat as well. Maybe he's telling the truth.
I'm willing to apologize, if that's worth anything to you. I took the Divine Knowledge Capsule behind your back because I judged its existence to be a significant risk. I felt that it would be best for no one to interact with it before it had been properly studied. After all, curiosity
You should be well aware, Scribe Al-Haytham, that curiosity can also lead you to danger and suspicion. Answer me this. Did the sages share any information?
Have I not made myself clear? You and I are both distrusted by the academia.
Fine. Although you haven't completely proven your innocence, I won't regard you as an enemy, for now.
As you wish.
Good. I'm glad to see you. And now you, Dia. I believe.
Oh, sorry. Whatever the boys were talking about must have been so boring. My situation is pretty straightforward. My employer, Dunyarzad of the Homayani family, is friends with the traveler and is currently recovering from her illness at home. I had nothing going on, so I decided to return to Aru village for a visit. I was actually looking forward to a pretty exciting time getting back together with everyone here. But then I saw these two random guys in the middle of a pointless argument. It ticked me off, and things went downhill from there.
Is that all? Well, I will admit that definitely sounds like your style.
That's more like it. I missed you all so much, Candace.
down.
No need to worry. Now that you're no longer at each other's throats, please make yourselves at home. I'll take a quick trip outside to clear out some of those creatures in the sandstorm.
Creatures? In the sandstorm? Are you...
Fighting in a sandstorm is not for the faint-hearted. Anyone without extensive training in these conditions is at a disadvantage. You needn't worry.
Yeah, just leave him to Candace. Don't worry, she's as tough.
The wind's died down. That means the sandstorm's over, right? Candace still isn't back yet, though. Is she alright?
When you put it that way, even I'm starting to feel a little worried. All right, let's go. We've been here long enough, and the boys are as chatty as the floor.